of the civil engineering, and I will give you some introduction on this subject in this section. So today I will discuss about the topic to be covered for necessity of estimation, introduction, and need for estimation and costing, important terms, and also different types of estimate and method of calculation and quantity. The small portion to be covered for this in these sections. First of all, the estimation is the most important and practical aspect of construction management, and the subject deserves the closest attention of the one aspiring to a career of a profession. It is the comparatively simple subject to understand, however, such as bring one up against the practical work, methods and procedure. Knowledge of it can be acquired without close applications. Next, what is meant by the estimation and what is meant by the estimate and estimation or estimation? Estimate is a document about the quantities of various work involved, rate and the expected expenditure of a project. And also the estimation or estimating is the process of preparing an estimate for a project. It is carried out with the help of plan, elevation, sectional view and specification and schedule of rate. And also for estimated cost of work, it includes approximation of its the actual cost. The agreement of the estimated cost with the actual cost will depend on the accurate use of estimating method and correct visualization of work as it is will be done, and importance of correct estimate. What are the purpose of purpose of the estimation? And also the engineer is to prepare or forecast the probable cost of proposed building before it could be started, and estimation is important and is prepared for a following some other purpose like estimation help to predict the approximate cost required for a project. It gives us the idea about the time requirement for a completion of your work. It is suitable tool to control the cash flow at a particular level of work, and also like that it is used for the contract system, so that an estimate is necessary to give some other reasonable value and also accurate idea to the cost of help him decide to the whether works are undertaken for the proposed building project. Any civil engineer work to the estimation is very important and essential for any proposed building to construct for construction. The point of view to decide to decide the building project, the estimation process is very important. And also work often for the lump sum basis, in which case the estimation must be positioned to know the exactly how much expenditure he is going to incur on them. Next, need for estimation and costing. And necessity is important for the estimation and costing. Estimation gives the idea of the cost of work, and hence its feasibility can determine to know the quantities of various of work and material, labor and their sources of identification, and also to decide whether the proposal can match the available fund to complete the structures, to obtain the administrative and technical sanction estimate from the competent authority to release the fund of construction. And estimate gives the idea of the time requirement for the completion of work, and estimate also record for the control of the expenditure during the execution of. Already told that for the estimation process is going on that for a particular proposed building project, so the time requirement and the cost availability, so labor's needs, so also the necessity for the importance to important purpose of estimations. And next the estimation materials. Estimation material from the estimate of a work, it's possible to determine what the material and what the quantity will be record for the work, so that the arrangement to procure them can be made. And next, for the estimation labor, the number of and kind of workers of different categories who will have to be employed and complete the work, so the specified time can be found out the estimate. And also estimate time and plan is very important, and estimate will help the estimate plan and help the determining the amount of kind of equipment needed to the completed the whole project proposal building. And estimating time, it's very important, and the work can be fulfilled of the in particular time because of estimation. The time required to complete an item of work and or work as a whole, whereas the importance of knowing the probable cost needed to emphasis. and estimation labor, plant, time immensely useful in planning of execution of any building project work. And the engineer is to prepare to forecast the probable cost of a proposed building before it could be started, and the estimation is very important to prepare for the for the purpose of estimation is very important for the following above. Next, data record for preparing an estimation, very essential for any other preparing the estimate process. The following content is very important. First of all, the drawing and specification and rate. So drawing the detailed drawing of plan elevation section drawn to scale are necessary to take the detail of measurement of various item of works. And next, specification is very essential for estimating the preparing for the estimating the process, because of first of all, the specification is given in nature, quality and classes of material, the proportion, method of execution and workmanship on the classes of labor record. The cost of work varies with the specification. The example for the cement mortar is used for the any other building project. The cement mortar is very essential tool. So the cement example for the cement mortar with 1:3 ratio costlier than the cement mortar is 1:6, so that the specification is very record for preparing for any estimation processing. And next for the rate, so rate of various item of work. So what is the various item of work? Example for proposed building project, for foundation related works, for superstructures, plinth level and parapet wall. Above the building project, any other work started for a proposed building, it could be started. The rate is very important. Nowadays the PWD work rate can be followed for any building projects, or nearby locality work can be followed. So the rate of various item of work, rate of various material to be used in the construction. So the wages of different categories and labors should be available for preparing an estimate. So the location of work and its distance of source of material, cost of transport should be known. So this rate may be obtained from the standard schedule of rate prepared for the engineering department. To prepare an accurate estimate, detailed estimate of quantities of various item of work, and an abstract estimate and quantities and their unit rates are required. So that's any other estimate prepared, the following drawing, specification and rate data can be very important to preparing an estimate. Next, for the unit of measurement, already know that for the data prepared, first of all, so the data prepared, any other building drawing, the plan will be execution, the unit measurement is very important. So the unit of different work depend on the nature and size and shape. In general, the unit different items of work based on the following principle. Example for any other mossy structure, the construction of the building, volumetric item of work such as earthwork, concrete of foundation, random rubble machinery, brick masonry. The measurement will be taken out for the building drawing only, taken out for the length, breadth, height or depth. Depth is the foundation will be taken out, the depth will be considered, shall be taken out for the compute the volume and cubical content. Next, the shallow thin surface work shall be taken out the square unit. Example for the area, the meter square can be followed, shall be taken out for the any other estimate process. The measurement of length and breadth and height shall be taken out for the compute the area. Example for plastering and whitewashing, the area, the estimate the quantities can be calculated for the meter square concept, the meter square value. Then also long thin work shall be taken out for the linear or running unit, and linear measurements shall be taken for fencing, rainwater pipes, ornamental border. Extra can be taken out for the running units, and also trusses, window, doors shall be taken for the estimated process. The number is only followed for the unit of measurement. This only for the unit content. unit of measurement taken out for the various item of works. The quantity will be taken out for the meter square, meters cube, numberings, meters, lengthwise linear measurement will be taken out for the any other estimated process. Next, basic important terms for estimation and costing. Various important terms, example for sinking fund, book value, market value, and also arbitration, plinth area, carpet area. Different terms and technology used for the estimation process. Now only the two important terms can be explained. First one for the plinth area. Plinth area is nothing but for the covered build-up covered area. This portion only for the build-up covered portion. Actually, the outer side to outer side, outer edge to outer edge, the building. Built-up area also measured for the floor level of any story, any different story. Actual built-up area is also for the plinth area. So the entire area occupied for the building, including external and internal walls, can be calculated for the plinth area. So next, carpet area. Carpet area, this means for the floor area, that is for the usable living area. Example for kitchen, staircase, veranda, entrance hall. This portion only for the carpet area, and outer edge to outer edge, this portion for the this end, this portion outer wall to outer wall. Built up area can be called as for a plinth area, and this livable area, usable area, also circulation area can be called as for the carpet area. This only for the 15 to 60% of plinth area is covered for that carpet area sections, and this area does not include the thickness of pillars and inner walls, because of only for the floor level will be taken out for the usable living area, and common area are also not included. Common areas, example the lift, staircase, walkway, and play areas. The outer surface area is not including that for the carpet area. So very important terms can be used for the estimation process. Next, various type of estimation can be calculated for the preparing for any process. First of all, the preliminary approximate and rough cost estimate, plinth area estimate, cubic rate estimate, approximate quantity method of estimate, detailed estimate, supplementary estimate, sub estimate, annual repair and maintenance estimate, complete estimate. First of all, the detailed estimate I have explained. The detailed estimate or item rate estimate is nothing but for the provide for the estimate can be prepared to provide for the item wise quantity of work, unit rate, and expenditure expended in the project is called a detailed estimate. And next, for the approximate or rough estimate. Approximate or rough estimate is the rough cost estimate. Any other building project, proposed building to constructed for the civil engineer, the approximate cost first you will prepare. After that, for the detailed estimate can be prepared. Estimate prepared by using any rough method to obtain the approximate cost of construction anticipated in a project is called an approximate or rough estimate. The estimate is generally prepared in the preliminary stage. Taking up the preliminary project is called as the preliminary estimate. And next, for the revised estimate. Revised or to get for the revised quantities of rate or amount is called for the revised estimate. It is prepared for when any major changes or alteration is made up of plan, structural arrangement with or without affecting the estimate cost, and also when the estimate cost likely to be more than 5% during the execution of the building project, you can revise the estimate process and also revise the estimate prepared, and the statement also comparison and variation of the quantity, rate of amount with proper reason you should follow for the revised estimate. Next, for the supplementary estimate, and supplementary estimate additional estimate prepared to determine in details the quantities, rate, amount of additional work separately and attached with the original estimate is called supplementary estimate. During any execution of building project, it is sometimes necessary to add some additional quantities item of work which were not included in the original estimate, because at the same time there will be not change in the quantity, rate of items already considered in the original estimate. In this stage, supplementary estimate prepared instead of doing revised estimate. And next, for the sub-estimate. Sub-estimate prepared for the lump sum quantities. Lump sum quantity is nothing but for the any building project, proposed building, electrification and water supply works and front architecture's work. Any other work can be included for the proposed building. It's called for the sub-estimate. So additionally to be added for the original estimate. Next, for the annual maintenance estimate. Estimate prepared for the periodical or annual maintenance works such as whitewashing, painting, cleaning, replacement of electrical fittings, etc. Some other concerned department to getting allocation of the fund mode in the annual budget. This is for the annual maintenance estimate. And also next, for the repair estimate. Estimate prepared for the repairing work to keep the structures good serviceable condition is called a repair estimate. Few items of work coming in the title. Example for the repairing of crack proof wall, sunshade and broken glass wash station, replacement of roof covering. This is prepared for the good serviceable condition is called as the repairing estimate. Next, complete estimate. So estimate which include for the cost of construction, cost of land, expansion for surveying, preparing for plan estimate, legal assistance or any other government legal assistance, registration process and taxation, supervision charges is also prepared for complete estimate. This is for the overall the various type of estimate process. Next, approximate estimate. Already told that for approximate estimate, estimate for the rough work can be calculated in this any other project work. So the estimate, what are the purpose of approximate estimate is very important for preparing for the estimate. To first of all to determine for any approximate cost of project, and also to minimize the time preparing for the detailed estimate, and to decide whether the project can be taken out or not, and to alter any other project, make some small changes based on the approximate estimate. So that following purpose can be prepared for the approximate estimate. So that that estimate can be prepared. The various methods can be followed. Example for plinth area method, cubical content method, unit cost or service unit method, typical pay method, and carpet area method, rough quantity method. First of all, plinth area method. Already told that for the plinth area, actual built-up covered area is also called as the plinth area. So the approximate cost prepared to use for the plinth area method. Actual approximate cost can be calculated for the estimate process. So built-up area, built-up covered area. So outer wall to outer surface to calculate for preparing the plinth area. In this method, estimate prepared the basis of plinth area multiplied by the plinth area rate. What is meant by plinth area rate is nothing but for the rate of cost per square meter. Rate of cost per square meter for single room for the length and breadth calculator of the structure, and also calculated from the cost of similar building constructed in the same locality and similar finishing. Next, for the cubical. So calculate for the plinth area is the formula can be used for the plinth area and multiply for the plinth area rate. So the rate will be locality rate can be followed for the estimating process. Next, for the cubical content method. Cubical content method can be followed for the length, breadth and height calculation. So in this method, the volume is taken out for the estimation cost. The cubical content method can be calculated for the overall volume equal for plinth area and also height. So that the height of the building from the floor level to top of the slab in single story building with flat roof, and also for the sloped roof, the height of the building from the floor level, mid height of the sloped roof from building of the sloped roof. So the height and the distance with the floor level and successive story. So next for the unit cost or service unit method. In this method, approximate cost of the project can be estimated based on the service unit. For example, any other hostel building is decided to construct to accommodate a particular number of person. Consider one room can be taken as a service unit. So one room taken for the service unit, the approximate rate per room is termed as the unit cost. So this value can be followed for the other similar rooms and locality. The same rate can be followed for the locality and capacity. Next, for the typical bay method, this is one for the approximate rate method. In this method, the number of bay is being taken for the basis of estimation process. An industry building with steel roof trusses, lengthy halls with intermediate beam spaced at uniform level could be estimated roughly by this method. So typical method is a continuous any other hall can be followed for this in this approximate cost estimate can be prepared. And next, for the carpet area method, carpet area already told that for the floor area of the building in total area between the walls. So the floor area equal to plinth area and area of wall. Actually nothing but the overall 55 to 60% occupy for the carpet area, plinth area occupy for the carpet area. So the floor area also calculated for the carpet area method for approximate cost of construction. Overall plinth area minus area of number of walls can be calculated for the carpet area. In this method can be prepared for the approximate cost of any building. So this include for the floor areas all rooms, veranda, passage, staircase room, bathroom, etc. This is already told that for the previous slide. One example for related to the plinth area method for the approximate cost of estimate, approximate rate of preparing for the estimate methods one example for prepared here to the preliminary estimate of a building with a total plinth area of all building is 1500 square meter, and following data can be followed. First, plinth area rate rupees 9500 per meter square, and special architectural design 1.5% of building cost, water supply and sanitary 5% of building cost, electrical installation 14% of building cost, and services 60% of building cost, contingent is 3% of building cost, and supervision 8% of building cost. Determine the total cost of the building projects. Already in this problem you have prepared for plinth area rate. So already told that the plinth area is the built up covered area. So the plinth area method can be calculated for the approximate rate of building. The formula can be used for the plinth area multiplied by the plinth area rate. So the approximate rate value for building rate value can be calculated. For the area is given for the 1500 meter. The rate is already given in the problem for 9500 per meter square. So the total cost of the plinth area method can be used for the plinth area rate multiplied by plinth area. For example, 1500 is the plinth area rate and 1500 is the area, plinth area in given problem. So 9500 and multiplied by the 1500, you also calculated for the actual cost for one core 42 lakhs and 50,000, and also additionally can be calculated for the special architectural design, water supply, sanitary, electrical installation. This is for the lump sum quantities can be additionally to add up to the original cost. So architectural design to given in your problems 1.5% of the building cost. Already you have calculated for 1,42,000 1 core 42,000 50,000 1.5% of building cost in the architectural design. So you should multiply for the 1.5 divided by 100 into 1 crore 42 lakhs 50,000. So you should calculate it for 2 lakhs something. And also next for the water supply and sanitary 5% of building cost, and similar to where you have calculated for the actual cost of building construction, the 5% to also calculated for 7,12,500. And also electrical insulation, the same process again for the 14% of building cost. So 14 divided by 100, you should multiply for the building cost, and also calculated for the 1,99,500, sorry, 19,95,000. And also services for the 6% and 3% and 8%. The total overall lump sum quantities can be additionally added up to the original cost of constructions. This is not included for that any other actual cost of constructions. So overall architectural design, water supply and electrical installation services, contingent supervision, the additional charges can be added up to the overall building estimate process. Overall cost of the 2 crores 34 lakhs and 41,250. This is for the print area method, can calculated for the easiest and simple way of the approximate cost of estimate prepared for any building. Next, for methods of calculation of quantities of materials. In this slide, before previous you have learning for the taking out of quantities. Because of the detailed estimate you have prepared for the various item of works. So the various item of work, any building construction point of view, cement, sand, aggregate, you should calculate it for the quantities will be taken out for the quantities. That should be the knowledge you will be gained. After that, the methods can be used for the center line method, crossing method, out to work method, day method, service method. This is also for the calculation of the quantities of materials. So the various material requirement, various works are given. So that one example for a material required for the cement mortar, not preparing for in this slide. So example for if the cement mortar is used for the any building construction, 1:5 ratio. What are the sand record? What are the sand record and the cement record? So in this. Not included that in this slide. So 1:5 ratio, the cement mortar you have prepared. So one pot of cement and 5 pot of sand record. So 1 meter cube of can be calculated for how much amount of sand record. So actually the material record for the cement mortar, cement and sand are the material used to make the cement mortar. So various work like brickworks, stone work, the quantity of sand record for making 1 meter cube of mortar is taken as 1 meter cube. Cement only fills the voids present in this sand, so does not consider for the total add up of the volume will be taken out for the sand only, does not consider for the cement, because of the cement only for the voids present in this sand, and hence it will not increase any volume in cement mortar. So that the sand record for the 1 meter cube of cement mortar equal to 1 meter cube. So cement requirement for 1:5 ratio, 1 divided by 5, it should be enough for this calculation. And also you should calculate for the 0.2 meter cube of cement, and also the cement will be taken out for any other purchasing. The kilogram can be purchasing, so the unit weight of can be calculated for the meter cube of cement. So 0.2 and unit weight of cement is also 1440 kilogram per meter cube. You should multiply for the 0.2. You should take note for the 1:5 ratio. The cement will be recorded for the 288. This is for the material requirement. That material requirement, the following methods can be prepared for that building. Any other building project work, any other building construction project work. So the calculation of various materials quantity quantities can be done in the various method of estimate. The application of individual method depend upon the design and shape of the building. Any other in this type of building, the following material and methods can be prepared for the estimate process. So the different methods can be calculated for the quantities of material. First one for the center line method, second one for the crossing method, and out to out method, and out to out into main method, and also bay method or service unit method. So all should for the methods of quantities of material can be calculated for any proposed building. Any civil engineer can do that for that any prepared estimated cost of the building. So first for the center line method. So center line method, the center to center of the all wall. An example for center to center of the all wall can be prepared. So in center line method, the center to center of the center to center of all walls around the building and added together for the length of the all wall without making any changes. This method is suitable for this only for the plinth area, only for the images will be considered, that images only considered. So this method is center line method is suitable when there is no cross walls, no addition of deduction necessary for the center line length. So you should first prepare and calculate it for the long wall length and also center to center length. So long wall, this means for the this one for the long wall, and this one for the horizontal will be the long wall, and vertical will be the short wall will be considered. So long wall length, the center to center, the inner length of the room plus 1/2 the wall thickness of one side and 1/2 of the wall thickness of the other side, and also can be calculated for the, this is for the center to center of the long wall. And also short wall can be prepared. Use the formula for inner breadth of the room size. The inner breadth of the room size for off wall thickness of the one side and off wall thickness of the other side. So that only calculated for the center line method. Next for the crossing method or individual wall method or long wall and short wall method. In this construction of square or any other rectangle building. So small example for in this construction or any rectangle building, the rectangle building walls are being built up in two perpendicular direction. Any other building, two perpendicular direction along the length and breadth, the breadth of the building. In this method, while measuring footing, basement, walls, overall outer to outer length of each wall taken out, and clear inner to inner length of corresponding short wall can be measured. So long wall can be outer to outer of the wall, center to center length, and one breadth will be taken out, and short wall will be taken out for the outer to outer wall and minus of one breadth. It's also similar to that for the center line method. And center line method for the number of junction can be added for additional quantity can be prepared for calculation. This one for the center to center, the minus of one breadth. Minus of one breadth is nothing for the half of the wall thickness and another side of the half of the wall thickness. So you should prepare for the method of calculation for various quantities of material. Next for abstract estimate. Abstract estimate is the final stages of the estimate. All the quantities of work are prepared, data, rate analysis entered in abstract form, and cost of estimate. The rate also you should calculate the quantities of material, and rate is also multiplied for the overall cost of construction building. And also additionally you use it for taken out for the lump sum quantity and contingenious. So contingenious is nothing but for the incidental expansion of a miscellaneous characters which cannot be classified under the detailed estimate, providing additional border, cutting, crew during the plastering, providing manholes, providing additional design, ceiling, walls. Some other example of the kind of work. Generally 3 to 5% of cost of work is provided towards the contingenious work, and lump sum provision where various small work are involved in the construction projects like ground surface, leveling, clearing, trees, wiring, etc. These small works cannot be accurately estimated while preparing the estimate for many project work. Hence, to include the expansion include such small works lump sum of 15 to 20% depending upon the size of work, total cost of the project, locality and construction, etc. of cost of other works can be permitted to include the estimate. Such work will be paid based on the sub estimate. Additionally will be added for the total cost of construction. The small problem can be explained for center to center line method and long wall short wall method. In this bay method and service unit method, out to out method, already types of estimate process already told that. Small problem for first of all, prepare a detailed estimate a part of a wall of a building from the given plan on section. Already told that estimate can be prepared the data record for the plan and section, elevation and unit measurement. This is very important essential process any other building construction. So also calculated for the in this problem also calculated for the earthwork excavation in foundation, lime concrete in foundation, first class brickwork in foundation and plinth and brickwork in superstructure. This is our plan of the section. And 5 meter length of long wall and 4 meter length of short wall and also 0.3 meter of the wall thickness and foundation related unit measurement can be given in here. So you use it for the in this method you should calculate it for the Sunderland method. Already Sunderland method already told that for wall, first of all you should calculate it for the walls around the building. Walls around the building is nothing for the one single room. See, this is for the single room. You should calculate it for the Sunderland method. Walls around the building. This wall for the long wall can be followed for 5 meter. Sunderland method, the long wall can be calculated. You use it for the center to center distance of the center to center distance of the length center to center length of the distance. So this wall also for the 5 meter and center to center distance of the wall thickness already for 0.3 meter given. So center to for the 0.3 divided by 2 meter, so 0.15. This side also 0.15 and also add up of 5 meter and 0.1 plus 0.15 plus 0.15. This also for the 5.3. So this one for 5.3 and short wall also calculated for the same procedure for 4 meter for the short wall. So center to center of the wall thickness add up for 0.15 plus 0.15 add up for the total of the 4.3. So Sunderland method walls around the building is first step. So 5.3 for this side for the long wall for the the clockwise direction. So 5.3 and 4.3. This wall also 4.3 and this one is also 5.3 and this one also 4.3. The also Sunderland length will be all walls around the building can be calculated first. You should calculate it in this problem for 19.2 meter will be taken out. Next you should the table formation you have prepared in this problem can be calculated for the earthwork excavation, lime concrete, first class brick and plinth work in superstructure. Any other estimate process, the estimation process can be prepared for the volume unit measurement can be followed. In earthwork excavation, meter cube calculation and foundation also meter cube calculation or the volume calculation and brickwork also meter cube calculation, superstructure also meter cube calculation. In another for the plastering of wall, whitewashing is for the meter square calculations. The unit measurement is very important and essential for the building estimate process. First, earthwork excavation of foundation. The numbering of in this room for one single room. So numbering can be provided for one numbering and length, breadth, height and quantity will be taken out for the Sunderland method. You should follow for the Sunderland method can be prepared for the estimate for in this building. So first calculate for the earthwork excavation on foundation 1 and length will be already find out for the total center length of the wall can be used. So 19.2 already calculated. So you should the the length will be taken out for the 19.2 and breadth of the in this room breadth will be taken out for 0.9 meter. 0.9 meter already given in your problem. So breadth will be taken out for the 0.9 meter and height will be for overall foundation or earthwork excavation for the overall foundation. So the breadth foundation excavation height will be the below plinth level. So below plinth level the height will be 0.5, 0.6 and 0.9 thickness and footing of foundation 30 meter each. So 0.3 meter, 0.3 meter and 0.3 meter the taken of the height of the cement bed concrete and cement bed concrete above for the first footing and second footing and above ground level for the plinth level and also for superstructures. So can be calculated first step earthwork excavation. So length 19.2 and breadth 0.9 and also thickness and foundation in your problem 0.9 also calculated and multiplied by the quantity will be length, breadth and height calculation 15.55 meter cube. Next process for foundation process. So foundation process the length will be considered for the same like that for the centerline length because of any other interbond cannot connected for the in this room. So overall centerline length can be followed for another step for in concrete in foundation. So length can be followed for 19.2 and breadth will be considered for in this problem like that 0.9 meter. This one for the cement CC bed or the cement concrete bed. This one given for the 0.9 meter and also next for the height will be considered for each one height will be the thickness of foundation for 0.3 meter. So 0.3 the total overall quantity of length, breadth and height calculation 5.18 meter cube. Next step calculated for the brickwork in foundation on plinth level. Brickwork construction in plinth level. This foundation marking the CC bed is now calculated. After that plinth first footing and next second footing and plinth level. Above the ground surface is also plinth level. So that is one for the first footing numbering 1 and second footing 1 and third footing because of the start of the footing is the above the plinth level 1. The length will be for the center length of the wall can be followed and breadth will be different. First footing breadth will be 0.6 and second footing the 0.5 and third footing this is for the plinth level for the above the ground surface of 0.4 shall be taken out for measurement for can be followed for the quantity measurement. So 19.2 and multiplied by 0.6 and 0.3 can be 3.46 the meter cube of first footing and 19. Second footing for 19.2, 0.5, 0.3 for 2 point can be multiplied by length, breadth, height calculation 2.88 meter cube and 19.2 and 0.4, 0.6 can be calculated for 4.61 meter cube. This also add up of total quantities measurement will be taken from 3.46 plus 2.88 plus 4.61 adding up 10.95. So overall 10.95 meter cube for the material quantities of the brickwork in foundation and plinth level. So below the ground surface and above the plinth level can be taken off the quantities only measured 10.95 meter cube. This one also meter cube the material requirement for the cement, sand and aggregate the material quantities will be calculated only for the 10.95 meter cube. So next in your problem for brickwork in superstructures, fourth one you can determine for the brickwork in superstructure. So brickwork in superstructure in this room they are all considered for the one single room. So one will be taken out and center line length of wall 19.2 the same like that and 0.3 for the wall thickness. 0.3 for the wall thickness. Normally the building construction for the 0.3 meter or 0.35 meter can be followed because of minimum wall thickness can be followed. This problems will be minimum wall thickness 230 mm can be followed. In this problem 0.3 will be taken out. So breadth will be taken out 0.3 and height will be for the above the level, above the plinth level for given in your problem 3.5. So 3.5 meter the height of the superstructure in your building. So overall quantities can be calculated 19.2 multiplied by 0.3 multiplied by 3.5. So calculate for 20.16 meter cube. So this is overall for Sunderland method. You should calculate it for, in this procedure can be taken out for the quantities will be taken out for the any other building preparing for the estimated process. So overall sectional viewpoint. Next, the same similar problems, long ball short ball method can be followed. This is another name for separated or individual wall method, and long ball can be taken out for, this is one for the long ball and this one for the short ball will be taken out. So 2 long balls and 2 short ball can be considered. So long ball length for the center to center length. So center to center length already for 5 meter length for inside into in wall and 0.3 meter thickness. So center to center will be taken for the long wall for 0.3 meter, and also should consider by 1 breadth of the wall. So 1 breadth of the wall 0.3 plus this one 0.3, this one 0.3. So outside to outside the long wall should be considered 0.9. Total overall 0.9 meter. So 0.9 meter will be taken out. Overall can be add up of sum of this 6.2 meter. And also short wall can be for 4.3 meter. Then add up of 1 minus of 1 wall thickness, minus of 1 wall thickness can be deduction of 4.3 minus 0.9 and 3.4 meter, and width will be given in your problem 0.9 meter. So the total quantity of concrete in foundation, so 2 numberings of wall can follow. So in this step can be 2 numberings of wall, so 2 long wall and 2 short wall. So you shall be taken up for 2 into 6.2 meter and 0.9 and 0.3 plus 2 into short wall thickness 2 into 3.4, 0.9 and 0.3 cubic meter. So long wall for center to center plus 1 depth and short wall for center to center minus 1 already calculated in first. So long wall short wall method, the same procedure can be followed, length, breadth, height calculation and quantity also measured. So first step for the earthwork, any other building construction, you should first follow for the earthwork excavation. So long wall short wall method, you should consider for the long wall in your problem 2 numberings 2 and also length will be found out for the 6.2 to use for the in this problem. So 6.2 will be taken out and breadth will be in your problem 0.9. So and height will be taken out for the 0.9. Already earthwork excavation in your problem 0.9 meter, this one side. So 0.9 meter, this one for the foundation height, for thickness of footing and foundation in 30 meter each. This one for consider for 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, overall for 0.9 meter. So that shall be taken as for height. So overall quantity can be followed for length, breadth and height calculation. Similar way for the short wall for numbering is 2. So length will be for the 3.4 and 0.9 meter breadth and height also 0.9 meter. So we can calculate for the length, breadth, height calculation 15.55 meter cube. Next step for the concrete in foundation, long wall can be followed for 2 numberings and short wall can be followed for 2 numberings. The long wall for the same length can be 6.2 and 3.4, same will be followed for 3.35. Length, breadth, height calculation 3.35 meter cube and 1.83 meter cube. Overall the quantity to be add up of 3.35 plus 1.83. The total quantities of building estimate 5.18 meter cube is enough for the concrete in foundation. Next step for the brickwork in foundation. Below plinth level first footing and second footing, after that above ground surface plinth level also calculated. Long wall short wall procedure can be used. Long wall short wall can be used. So for first footing the long wall and second footing, third footing is nothing but the plinth level. So 2 numberings 2, and also in this problem the drawing because of long wall short wall. In this point of view, the 5.9 length will be added up of long wall can be found out two numberings. So 5 meter will be length of the in your room for 5 meter and 1 breadth of wall. So 5.9 meter. So, this portion. So 0.9 meter, 5.3 for center to center length of the one room, one long wall length and plus 1 breadth. So 5.9 multiplied by 5.3 plus 0.6 will be considered for the length, can be found out for in this foundation level. Foundation level you should consider for that taken out. This one. This 1.6 will be first footing, breadth will be taken out considered. Okay. Next the second footing will be taken out for the 0.5 meter considered. Okay. The same similar to the short wall length can be followed. So long wall first footing 5.9, 5.3 plus 0.6 for the first footing breadth, and breadth will be for 0.6 in your problem, and 0.3 will be height of the in your problem, also calculated multiplied by 2.3. Similar way to prepared for first footing, second footing and plinth level, and short wall also prepared for the similar way of build. This one can be used for the 3.3. The short wall length can be followed. Center to center length of the short wall minus of 1 breadth can be followed, that taken out the quantities. So length will be followed to the minus of breadth will be. So you should consider for the minus of 1 breadth of the first footing, second footing and plinth level. This one followed. So now also in your problem, given in your problem, breadth will be taken out and height will be taken out. The overall quantities of brickwork in foundation in plinth level 10.95 meter cube. Next, for the brickwork in superstructure, long wall short wall method can be followed. So 2 and 2 numbering 2. So the same similar way method for the height will be changes of 0.3 meter for the in your superstructure in building, 0.3 meter wall thickness. So long wall length for the 0.3 will be add up of this one side, for the minus of 0.3 will be the short wall length. So deduction of 0.3 will be deduction of the short wall length, and also overall for a breadth will be 0.3 wall thickness and height will be 3.5 meter height. So can be calculated for 11.76 for long wall and 8.4 meter cube for the short wall. The overall quantity to be add up of 11.76 meter cube and 10.4 meter cube. Overall quantities of estimate can be prepared for 20.16 meter cube. The meter cube is very important to any other prepared building project work. So next, prepare a detailed similar problem for this. This one for the single room of the building can be followed for center line length, and long wall short wall length can be followed. This one portion for the 2 rooms. In 2 rooms or more than number of rooms, the number of junction can be important. So intermediate level, for example, in your home or house can be livable area for kitchen, bathroom and puja room. In multiple room involved in the plinth area. So you should consider for the any single room wall length can be calculated. So one example for prepare a detailed estimate part of your wall block building given in a plan and section. Calculate earthwork of excavation of foundation, 9 concrete in foundation, first class brickwork in foundation and plinth and brickwork in superstructures. So in this is in your plan and this is your foundation. So the same center line method can be calculated. Already told that the center line length walls around the building. In this wall 5 meter, this one also 5 meter. So it will be taken out for the 5 meter, the same length. A short wall will be 4 meter, this one also 4 meter. In center line method, the center wall also numberings can be followed. So horizontal wall can be taken out for 0.15 means the half of the wall thickness. 0.15 means the half of the wall thickness, and 5 meter for this length 5 meter, and also 0.3 for the outer. The overall So intermediate wall can be considered for the 0.3 meter of wall thickness, and next for the 5 meter, and this one for the 0.5 meter. So overall taken of the horizontal length of the wall, this one also 0.3 meter, half of the wall thickness and 5 meter length, and overall whole the intermediate wall can be calculated add up of, and this one also length of the 5 meter and half of the wall thickness. You should calculate for the horizontal length of the wall 10.6 meter, and vertical wall next for the centerline length, vertical wall for this one for the short wall for the vertical wall. So this one side to this one side, so this one wall thickness 0.3 meter, half of the wall thickness 0.15. So you should have mentioned for 0.15 half of the wall thickness plus 4 meter of room length, short wall length, and this one side for the 0.3 wall thickness, half of the wall thickness will be taken out for the centerline method. So half of the wall thickness can be calculated for overall 4.3 meter for vertical length, and intermediate level you should calculate it for middle wall you should calculate it for in this wall also consider for that centerline. So similar way of procedure can be followed for the centerline length, and also various number of rooms can be provided, any other building project number of rooms can be provided. So the number of walls can be considered for number of walls should be considered for that, any other estimation preparing project work. So middle wall should be considered. So this one side to this one side, half of the wall thickness 0.15 plus this wall length for the 4 meter, and this one side for the half of the wall thickness 0.15. So middle length of the wall 0.15 plus 0.4 plus 4 plus 0.15. So you should calculate 4.3 meter. So overall center to center length of wall, so horizontal wall and vertical wall, middle wall to add up of 34.1 meter. So or additionally to be or any or similar way to this one side, and also for long wall this one side, and also add up of intermediate wall also calculated. So this procedure followed or this procedure followed 34 point. Similar procedure can be followed for 34.1 meter. So then additionally the centerline method, the length can be followed for the different section. So different length can be followed, so that the different length can be calculated for the one formula can be found out for the length. So center to center length 34.1 should not be considered for overall length. For earthwork excavation, brickwork in superstructure, first footing, second footing will be all the changes for the length, because of the intermediate to be connected for the one room. So intermediate to be connected for one room, so that the new length can be considered. So the new length can be find out for the new formula can be calculated for the length equal to center length minus number of units divided by 2 into 1 breadth multiplied by 1 breadth. So that was by the number of unit you should consider for the number of junction. As number of junction can be followed in this section, the T-shaped junction in this room, 2 numberings 2 because of the intermediate connected for the one single room, this one portion and this one portion, this one side and also this one side, the T-shape connected for the building. So numbering 2. So center to center length already calculated for the 30.1 minus of breadth divided by 2. Breadth will be 0.3 divided by 2 into numbering of junction 2. So 2 divided by 2 1. So 1 in multiplied by 1. So you should calculate it for 33.2 meter. So the same previous problem you should calculate a length, breadth, height calculation. Considered for the centerline length you will be taken out for the 2 rooms formula 33.2 will be using. So this one side will be not like that. For center length of the wall will be not considered. In this problem 32.2 only considered because of the intermediate wall connected. So 32.2 and breadth will be taken out for 0.9, height will be considered for the 0.9, The similar will be similar way to calculate for the length, breadth, height calculation 26.89, and also concrete in foundation, brickwork in foundation, first footing, second footing, plinth level. Also similar way to the center line length will be changing, and also previous problem you should consider taken out for the quantities. Also consider for that multiply with the overall quantity. So only number of more than number of room you should consider for the number of junction. You should mainly focusing on that center line length methods. Okay, you can prepare for any building project. You should consider this number of rooms and number of junction, and new length will be found out for each and various item of works. So various item of work you should consider for the length only, the different calculation. Breadth will be taken out and height will be the same, similar way to the find out for the previous year problem. Thank you.